Blessings Nation, and now welcome to the channel. Yeah, man, JLP, and this is one of the top stories making headlines today. Now, Andrew Holness announced that he would be taking down corrupt police, corrupt businessmen, and corrupt members of the banking system, which left citizens asking, what about corrupt politicians? And if you agree that corrupt politicians should also pay the penalties for their crimes, well, drop a like on the video and share the video as well. Now, after Minister of Labour Karl Samuda blasted some members of parliament, submitting names of over 300 elderly people in their constituencies who stand to benefit under government social pension programs, MP them so them take the money. Now, after making a statement, it seems Karl Samuda is now the latest JLP politician being forced into early retirement. After blasting his own party, Samuda stated that his time in representative politics might be coming to a close. I'm going to hear from him himself and then continue the reasoning. Look and listen.
We have had 8 prime ministers, and I've served in this house with 6 of those 8 prime ministers. The only 2 that I did not share this house with is Sir Alexander Bustamante and Sir Donald Sangster. It has been a wonderful experience. And whilst I am not announcing my departure, I don't think it would take a genius to understand that that time is drawing near. I want first, before going into the debate, to express my gratitude for those with whom I have served in 6 different ministries over this period. And boy, I'm telling you, what an experience. But in this term, serving in the Ministry of Education is arguably the most meaningful for me, because the purpose of my entering politics was because of my upbringing and because of my commitment to serving the people most vulnerable in this country. That is my real motivation. And I think I am eminently qualified to say that over those many years that I have been here, the only difference between us fundamentally is the fact that some of us sit on this side and others sit on that side. But when it comes to one common interest, the interest of the affairs of the people of Jamaica, there is no difference. We both share that concern jointly. And for that, it has been a wonderful pleasure on my part to have engaged in sometimes heated debate, but at the root of it all, the reason why we can leave here and have a drink, have a chat, is because of that common interest in the people of Jamaica.
Nation Karl Samuda is a 40-year veteran of representative politics who has served for both the JLP and also the PNP. And he's stating that politicians have failed the people, not just their constituencies, but the entire Jamaica. He says all parliamentarians should share a common goal, which is to promote the interests of the Jamaican people, which clearly is not the aim of MPs today. Now, Mr. Samuda also served as minister for 6 different ministries. However, he says his most meaningful contribution, he thinks, was to the Ministry of Education. I was so going with the Ministry of Education today. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comment section, was Samuda removed to have Ruel Reid placed as the Minister of Education? Now, in the debate in Parliament, Samuda said he was disappointed with some of his parliamentary colleagues who have not done enough to help the people. He stopped short of saying that them do anything against the people, but just the fact that being in Parliament and having the people's best interests at mind is not the mindset of MPs, something where even members of the constituency know. Mr. Samuda was quoted as saying, there are benefits in the high millions for poor residents within all constituencies. So when parliamentarians go to Parliament and bawl and talk about poor people and tear down the place with tears, he's stating that why, when they get the opportunity to do something about it, no MP is stepping up to help out the poor and vulnerable in their constituency. And we wonder why in rural Jamaica, the youth are turning to crime and violence. And when you show a picture of the MP or certain ministers to residents, them don't even know who these individuals are. Because different from when seeking election, some residents did not see them politician at no other interval during the number of years that an elected party sits. He said as recently as this year, the Ministry of Labour requested and recommended that unemployed youngsters in these constituencies be employed to find elderly people in various parts of the community who might be eligible for the benefits under social pension program, or programs rather. However, he stated that most MPs have not yet responded to even the request. This don't look good. And with the government allocating millions towards these pension programs and the money not being collected, what happened to these funds over time? Since nobody now check on it other than the ministry, we know that the funds are out there to be dispersed into all constituencies. Now between 2021 and March of 2022, which was when the 2021 political fiscal year ended, our financial year as they would state it. And Samuda stated that the government paid out approximately 200 million to beneficiaries. Now think about it. If 200 million was paid out, but Samuda is upset with MPs about not making the information or the funds available to the poor and vulnerable within their constituencies, how much more millions are there still remaining in these funds? And with Karl Samuda knowing that he plans to retire from representative politics, whether retire or being forced into retirement, and as stated, 2,000 or a little over received payments, and they must say that totaled for the entire year to 200 million. Samuda stated that the ministry will be working to increase the number of beneficiaries to 20,000 during the current financial year. For 2,000 during the previous financial year, it totaled 200 million. And that's not them to do things for the people. Hence, the Ministry of Labour plans to bring that number to 20,000. Yes, so much money will be floating around. And if MPs are not making the funds available and dispersing the funds, this is an issue where the Prime Minister and the President for each party need to address. And if any member of Parliament is caught with their hands in the cookie jar using these funds, penalties must be faced, as the Minister of Labour has brought the issue into Parliament. So if there's a shady reason why these MPs know say hundreds of millions are there for the poor and the elderly within their constituencies and now make the funds available to them, that's something we have to look into in a sound right. MPs move at every chance they get for do something within their constituency for ensure their re-election. So something like getting money for the elderly and going through the community and, making the funds available, register and move, get registered, as something with them with a jump at. Now, as a precaution, Samuda said, the government will be rolling out life certificates during the first quarter of the fiscal year to ensure that persons who are registered and in receipt of these programs or payments under the social pension programs are still eligible to continue receiving these sums. So that's people not use people name and continue receive funds even. You know the thing. Talk to me, nation. Tell me how you feel. As I said to date, this would mean 2 JLP members of parliament, while still being members of parliament, have been forced into retirement or have chosen, as they have stated, to retire from representative politics. I would walk on. and the intentions of the minister or the prime minister himself with Labour. Maybe Karl Samuda don't want to be a part of that, stating that within 4 year time, if we don't have enough skilled workers, the country will be forced to import labour from elsewhere. And think about it. What kind of labour will this be? Will it be ex-convicts from Chinese countries, or individuals will be paid more than specified? Recently, them showcase how much Jamaicans get paid for a 40 week or a 40-hour work week. And I think Jamaica only higher than the Haitians. Most other Caribbean countries appear at the same or more. Can the country afford to make it viable to import labour from overseas, when Jamaica is already one of the countries that exports labour overseas? Canadian program, American program, European program, work and travel. Talk to me in the comment section, you know the sentiments. And for those who don't, click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and of course put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content. As soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity. Like and share the video. Until the reason again, live, love, and prosper. And stay tuned.